Hello, everyone. Tanya here, founder of tanyapura.life, Holistic Health Coaching. And today I wanted to talk to you about the psychology of weight loss and give you some tips for easier dieting. So losing weight is 100 times easier if you're mentally prepared for it. And this may sound elementary, but in my experience, most dieters quit their weight loss plan, not because they feel hungry or have difficulty with the menus, but because of psychological reasons. Either they become bored or dissatisfied with their rate of weight loss, or they suffer a momentary lapse and become overwhelmed by guilt and feel too deprived to continue. And then in an attempt to explain their failure, many of them blame their diet plan or their domestic situation or their congenital inability to lose weight. And this process often repeats itself, and as a result, some dieters can spend years unsuccessfully trying to lose weight without ever realizing the true cause of their difficulty. And there are three common psychological problems we encounter when we're trying to shift extra pounds. And so I wanted to share these with you, as well as provide you some tips on how to overcome them. So here we go. Problem number one is not knowing how weight loss will benefit you. So whether we want to lose 20 or 220 pounds, we need to change our eating habits and perhaps several other lifestyles as well. Making these changes may not be difficult on day one or week one of our weight loss plan, because our initial enthusiasm usually gives us sufficient motivation. But typically within 2 to 3 weeks, our new eating plan starts to interfere with our regular lifestyle. And unless we're prepared for this, our desire to continue dieting will start to fade. I'm sure many of you can relate. So instead of seeing our diet as a passport to a better weight and shape, we see it as an obstacle and a burden. It becomes something we are doing because we must, rather than because we want to. And this is the first big emotional problem we encounter when starting a new eating plan. So to overcome this, we need to know exactly why we're trying to lose weight. We need a clear idea of how it will benefit us, because only if we have a clear benefit to look forward to will we be able to resist the temptation to revert to our previous bad habits. General benefits from having a leaner, lighter shape aren't really powerful enough. We need a selfish, specific benefit, something we can really visualize. So something that commands our attention. Maybe it's a beach holiday or a dream outfit to wear for a specific occasion, or a new shape to show off at Thanksgiving. Whatever we choose, it must make a noise inside our head. Remember, the moment we start to feel that we have to do something, it becomes the enemy, like paying taxes or cleaning out the basement. Our motivation flies out the window. In order to achieve lasting weight loss, we really need to want it. So problem number two is trying to be perfect. During my last 4 years as a weight loss consultant and holistic nutritionist, I've met hundreds of dieters in person and communicated personally with another few hundred over the internet. But so far, I haven't met one single successful dieter who was perfect. On the contrary, most of my successful clients make tons of mistakes. They have had bad days, bad weeks, even whole months during which they went completely off the rails. But none of this stopped them from succeeding in the end. And why not? Because they learned from their mistakes. And let's not forget, most of our self-knowledge comes from the mistakes we make, not our successes. So unfortunately, many dieters insist on trying to be perfect. As a result, when they do fall off the wagon, which they always do at some point, They might find it impossible to tolerate their failure and become overwhelmed by guilt. So even though their lapse might have been relatively trivial, maybe a weekend binge, they fall to pieces because, as usual, it's the guilt that does the real damage, not the binging. The lesson is this: when dieting, don't waste time trying to be perfect. It only leads to increased guilt and failure. Instead, accept that you're going to make mistakes and don't let them distract you when it happens. See them as a learning experience. For example, if you drink too much alcohol when dining out and massively overeat as a result, don't wake up the next morning in a fit of depression. Instead, savor your experience and appreciate that you've made an important discovery, that too much alcohol makes weight loss more difficult. By reacting like this, you'll avoid guilt and find it much easier to return to your diet. So, psychological weight loss problem number 3 is treating your diet as a race. Another common problem concerns the speed of weight reduction. Many of us expect to lose weight very fast, and we're psychologically unprepared when our body refuses to behave in this fashion. If a week passes without any weight reduction, we become dispirited and start to lose interest. Unfortunately, like it or not, the human body isn't designed to lose weight quickly. In fact, it's designed for survival, not appearance. And therefore, it has no interest in shedding body fat because it sees the body fat as an important source of energy during potential times of famine. So as a result, the maximum amount of fat we can lose in a week is approximately 3 pounds. While someone who has less than 30 pounds overall may lose only about 1 pound per week. Anything extra than that is likely to be a combination of water and muscle weight. So to overcome your impatience and maintain steady weight loss, stop thinking of your diet as a race. Instead, see it as a journey. This reduces anxiety and gives you more breathing space to settle into your new habits. And most people find it a very beneficial approach. At the same time, avoid jumping on your bathroom scales every day. Limit yourself to once a week, maybe. Checking your weight more often really only encourages you to take a short-term view of things, which just isn't helpful. I realize that steady weight loss may not sound terribly exciting or attractive, but in my experience, the slower the weight loss, the longer it stays off. So, as I stated previously, if you lose more than 3 pounds a week, it won't be fat, it will actually be muscle or water. And while losing water is only temporary and thus pointless, losing muscle will slow your metabolism and actually increase the risk of future weight gain. So when you start your next diet journey or new healthy eating plan, just remember, there's no rush. Set yourself a realistic weight loss goal and let nature take its course. So for example, if you weigh 200 pounds and you're aiming for 150 pounds, allow yourself 6 months to reach your destination. And if it takes a little longer, so what? I mean, what do you lose? So let's recap. These 3 psychological problems account for a huge number of diet failures. Mastering them will definitely enhance your chances of losing weight. So before you embark with all your customary enthusiasm on yet another new diet, I lovingly encourage you to set aside some time to really think through, 1, knowing how weight loss will truly benefit you. Really know what is your why. Number 2, letting go of the need to be perfect 100% of the time on any eating plan. And number 3, understanding and accepting that safe and sustainable weight loss is not a race, but rather a journey. If you mentally prepare yourself in these 3 ways, you can more readily enjoy watching the pounds disappear. So I hope that all made sense, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care.